G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a police shotgun. It's a pump-action shotgun standalone based off a Remington 870 Wingmaster variant. You can see Wingmaster is etched into the receiver there. So that's kind of cool. A lot of customization, custom sounds and animations. Animations come from War Daddy. It's also got a bullet counting reload system where we'll reload exactly how many shots we need to top up the tube if we haven't expelled all of them. So that's pretty nice. Let's get into the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers. Scroll all the way down for the advanced receiver, 250 damage, I think, is around the same damage as you get out of a vanilla game combat shotgun. But this thing's going to be firing a little bit slower thanks to the fact that you've got to pump it back between every shot. So we're not going to have as high DPS, so perhaps we're looking at more of a mid to late level sort of shotgun. A stepping stone between your standard double barrel shotgun to a combat shotgun in your late game, but we'll continue. Next, we've got the barrels. Obviously, for a shotgun, you want to make your range as long as possible to retain that damage for as long as possible, so a long ported barrel, that'll help us control the recoil as well. But honestly, recoil in a pump action shotgun, it's a little bit of a non-factor because you won't be firing fast enough for the recoil to disrupt your aim on everything. Plus, it's a shotgun. You don't have to be 100% precise. We've got a short stock right now. You can have a light one, a full stock, gunslinger stock, which has a faster reload because it's got the round sitting there. There's also a scavenger stock, which will give you a little bit of carry weight thanks to the fact that this little pouch thing, so you can store some of your stim packs in that, I suppose. There's also a recoil compensating stock, which looks like an M4 stock, completely not super useful for a shotgun like this, as I've already discussed, but we'll go for a gunslinger stock because faster reload, yes please. Next, we've got the magazine tube. You can extend this out. This is where it stores all the tubes, the ammunition in there. So that's your magazine. So making it longer allows you to store more shells in it. Pretty self-explanatory. And we've got the sights. You can have standard sights like I've got now. Glow versions of that, which you can't really see, but they're there. Or holographic sights, reflex sights, laser sights, short scopes, medium scopes, and thermal scopes, which I think this one's supposed to be some sort of experimental version of that, so we'll have to see how that one turns out. But I think we'll go for a reflex sight here, just for a slightly better VATS optimization. If I want to use it in VATS, it'll be a pretty good thing. Although you could make a point that I don't need any sights at all using this thing because it's a shotgun. But don't you worry, I'll be using this thing with a variant with no sights at all, just for that. Also, you've got a muzzle slot attachment. A couple of the important ones are the duckbill choke, which will increase your range and increase your spread, or decrease your spread. Recoil compensators and stuff as well. Obviously, recoil not a huge, it's a non-factor, so don't have to worry about that. You've also got the option of a suppressor, which will give us a little bit of extra damage thanks to Ace Operator, whilst also knackering our range by not much, actually. I would expect that penalty to be more, but there's options for a suppressor. May as well throw that on. Next, legendary effects provided by legendary modification. We'll just ignore that one. And you can have an accessory, a flashlight, getting Left 4 Dead vibes out of that. A shell saddle, which will increase your reload speed even more. Or a targeting laser, which will track your targets, which there's a little bit of utility in that. But if you're in a shotgun range, you're not going to be losing track of your enemies, I wouldn't have thought. Perhaps if you're going to be scouting a little bit with this thing before you get into the combat zone, you want to, make sure you know where everything is first. There's an idea, but a shell saddle will increase the reload speed, so we'll throw one of those on. And last of all, we've got the different ammunition types. We'll all use a standard vanilla game shell, but you'll actually change the flavor of what it actually shoots. So there's these plasma slugs, which are really cool. Pulse slugs for fighting robots. The plasma slugs appear to be doing more. Standard slugs, explosive shells, which if that works with our suppressor, that's going to make it a particularly potent thing. Magnum buckshot will increase your damage at the cost of recoil non-factor. That's a pretty good trade-off. Dragon's Breath is the incendiary legendary effect applied to every pellet, so nah, not that great. We'll go for a more powerful buckshot on this one. There's also a flechette, which will increase armor piercing and cause your target to bleed, and junk shot is there to make up the numbers. There's an extra attachment there, junk shot. It does less damage with a wider spread. Exactly what you don't want for a shotgun, but they have it. That's our police shotgun. Let's go and kill some criminals, man. The police shotgun is injected onto the leveled list, so I'm here at Cleo's, and I've found one in her shop. For 104 caps, this thing can be yours, provided you've got a good enough charisma and all of those perks to allow you to, buy stuff at a better price. There's also a couple of uniques floating around the game. The first one you'll find is here in Bedford Station. If you come here at a low level, look out. There's a bunch of ghouls running around, and they can get on top of you pretty quickly. But honestly, at this late stage, They're small fries. Yeah, nah, no problem. So you want to go to a tower, and then you'll find the police shotgun. It's called Unfinished Business. Does more damage against ghouls, and that's about it. Looks like it's got a recoil compensating stock as well, so we might have to adjust that. But anyways, there's some ghouls over there. We can go ahead and snipe them. Snipe them with our scattered buckshot. Yeah, okay. There's not really much to speak about here in terms of its performance, so let's move on to the next unique. The next unique is located in the Nahant Sheriff's Department, which is here. If you've come here for the Nick Valentine quest, then you know where it is. But if you haven't, perhaps you can pick up that holotape at the same time. What you want to do is, within these 4 walls, go up the stairs and then go over here, and then there you go. There's your search warrant with chance to stagger on hit, which is pretty good for a scattergun. Not too bad at all. Also a subway token if you feel like it. That's helpful. Alright, let's take him to workbench, modify him, and make him good. And we're back at Gunner's Plaza, immersive style. You've already seen this particular shotgun in first person, so in third person, it looks like this. Looks pretty cool. It's also got that ejector port, which slides open when you pump the thinger back, so that's cool. And there's the bullets being reloaded, exactly how many that we need to top up the tube. Excellent. This one here is my sniper status version. I've put a medium scope on this thing, which is overkill, yes, but wow, that is very... If you crouch, there's no sway at all. That's crazy. But it's using the pulse, no, not the pulse shells, the rifled slug shells, because they hit scan, and where you point is where they're going. So we'll have to see if that actually works in practice, but I'm fairly certain that it'll be okay. Next, this is the Unfinished Business, the Ghoul Slayers one. I've got glow sights on it, not iron sights, and it's got explosive shots, because why not? Any ghouls, look out. Next, we've got this one, Search Warrant. I've kept this one nice and short, should make it slightly better for utilizing in that. It's also got the flechette shells, advanced receiver, everything like that. So we'll get started, and first of all, we'll just use the sniper version just to get some slugs down range. Oh my goodness, they're all outside. That is a 4.4 times sneak critical, and I'm only getting... Oh... 169 damage out of all that. Okay. Well, that's not cool. If they come a little bit closer, maybe I'll be better. But yeah, this is... Honestly, they're playing into my hand here because I've got a shotgun. I want you to be up close. So, the dilemma here is that we've got quite a high damage per shot, but our DPS is not that great. So what I could do is... use VAFs to just go on a big gun through streak. We should be getting automatic criticals at this stage. Yep. That's great. And I was hoping for more Grim Reaper sprint procs there, but we might have to, like, micro guerrilla warfare this, I think. We've got a couple of crits ready to go. We may as well put some of these down range just to see what they can do. That was 86 damage on a critical. Okay, so it looks like the slugs haven't retuned the range on this thing to make it actually viable for any sniper role, so the ability to throw on a scope on this thing is functionally worthless. But let's go explosive. No healing. Activate a critical here. It's good. Mysterious Stranger is coming out, so we'll just ignore that guy. Mysterious Stranger will take care of him. And since these people are sitting that close together, we'll just shoot them. Also, you've also got an interruptible reload when it comes to using this bullet counting reload system, which is really cool. Bit of script extender. It's magic. Alright, really turn the tide with the use of the explosive version here. Some good DPS. The fact that we're standing nice and close to each other was to our advantage as well. We're able to bounce some extra damage off these guys. And as a scattergun, like, that spread is okay-ish. Even with the duck bill, I think it's pretty out there still, but we're not going to get full out 76 levels of spread on this thing, I don't think, but still, we'd have a good enough shot. Did we jam? Hello? Alright, I'll just hit you with it then. Oh, I can't even do that. Put it away, bring it back out again, recycle the round, rechamber it. Okay, we're good. So, perhaps not as magic as I was first letting on. The bullet counting system failed me just then. That's fine. This one is so much better on the old AP usage. I can get many more shots in, and may as well zip forward here. Use a critical. What's my backup plan if I don't get Grim Reaper Sprint? Run like hell. Yes. By the way, you're all under arrest, and stop resisting arrest, and also shots fired. Officer still up, but shots fired at officer, so I'm gonna need to call in backup. So, as far as shotguns go, I feel like it's doing pretty good. The thing is about pump-action shotguns, they can be balanced really well for certain difficulties and not others. Like, these guys are thoroughly tanking it up here, getting like multiple 12-gauge shotgun shells to the head, and being just fine. So, a little bit hard to balance. Most of the time, if you find a shotgun that has a slower rate of fire like this in Last Shot Stranger, you'll find that the damage is rather lacking. We've also got Nerd Rage active now, so we'll look to proc that when we get into a slightly better position. Like this. Probably don't want to get shot by whatever she's carrying there, so try to dance around her a little bit. Maybe add a critical to this next guy. There you go. Only 2 of those pellets hit. He's going to sidestep off that building. Oh, you idiot. Right. Maybe we'll just go around and reload everything. Maybe we'll just use this one. The explosive Ghoul Slayers version appears to be the strongest of them all. And we've got an opportunity to get some of our bat slings back, so we'll do that. The way that VATS works in this game is, well, it's funny because it seems to get all of the shots in the most pinpoint accurate spot. Everything's landing in that one spot. And do we have our gunners here? We do as well. Time for a bit of sneak critical. That's pretty helpful. Probably could have gotten away with using a little bit of gun through there, but still took those guys out. Might need a little bit of slow motion assistance here just so I can dodge all of their attacks as I'm slowly whirling them down. Getting the shots just in between them to allow me to get those critical staggers on. And now we've got 1 room left. For a door-breaching weapon, this is probably the best. So, this is your last chance. Come out with your hands up. Suspect has a gun. Suspect has a gun. We've got a 1044 here. I actually don't know what a 1044 is. I just made that up. But if it's something relevant to this, then maybe I'm lucky. Anyways, so suspects dealt with. Looks like we'll be making no arrests today, but whatever this vicious gang of gunners was that I was wearing the insignia of, don't worry about that. It's fine. It's not an inside job at all. Alright, so we'll give one more test to our sniper status version with the pulse slugs, but, 900 damage there. That was slightly better. Perhaps I wasn't getting the sneak criticals that I thought I was getting. If I look at this thing's stats right now, accuracy, range, it's the same. Okay, so the high damage might be enough just to push it out a little bit, but we're going to need some serious help when it comes to actually using this thing. We can, however, get sniper knockdowns, which is some nice icing on the cake, but we're not going to be doing anything to these guys. Was that 9 damage that I just saw? Yikes. That's bad. Get way more damage just putting tiny little buckshots over in his direction. Now the fight is going to be on for real. Get some of these crits back that I wasted on his face. Good old concentrated fire. You can always count on that to give me damage. Also, reload whenever you feel like it. It's a very fast reload. Had to sort of wind themselves up for that one. Ooh, we didn't know he could hit me through there. Alright, well, now it's just going to be a slugging match. So let's just push this in our favor slightly by using this explosive one. I will say this sounds pretty cool in slow motion, even if it's a little bit overly distorted, but still, it sounds cool. Sounds slightly different in BAFs. What I could do here is utilize a staggering version, and hopefully, yep, that'll stop him in his tracks. I've also got a little bit of bleed damage, so For a giant target like this, we might be able to stack that bleed damage on to actually start ripping apart his health a little bit faster. And since we've got all of these bat shots, we use the criticals as they come, but if we can extract a few criticals from this, that would be pretty good. That fast reload. That is proper. Yeah, the Japanese, they decide to get really good with swords and stuff, and they're so fast that it's barely comprehensible how fast they are. It's like that, except reloading a shotgun. What I could do as well is dodge his attacks, not by doing that though. Never mind, it's not going to work. He's just going to predict my dodging ahead of time. Speaking of ahead, he's not going to have one if I keep shooting him like this. I can't really see the ammo drain, however. The ammo drain. I can't see that, but the health drain, I think, is something that I'm not privy to. If I'm watching it very closely indeed, maybe a couple of pixels here and there is bleeding down by, but it's not too much, and that's fine if it isn't. It'd be cool if I had like a wounding version of this thing, so it'd get that 25 extra bleeds on every single projectile, which would be absolutely devastating. He'd be long dead by now. He'd be into the negative hundreds of thousands of health if I was doing that. But alas, not the case. What we could do is, since he's nice and close now, we could utilize the slugs to a little bit better power. 769, that's a little bit better with a critical. We could even get a nice little knockdown here. Try to keep him at bay that way. Use all of our criticals on his head. Just taking a little bit off the top. Trust me, I'm a barber and also a police officer. Which I will say, stop resisting as I'm putting a bunch of 12 gauge slugs in your head repeatedly. Okay, Mysterious Strangers come out again. That might distract him just long enough, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I'm going to have to do a combat dodge here. Almost back into Nerd Rage territories at this stage, so at least we'll be able to get a few more bits of damage that way, and whoop. Nope, not happening. Oh, that's so much better. 2400, 2200, 3000. So that's the kind of damage you want. Imagine that infused with sneak criticals. That'd be pretty great. But maybe, just maybe, that's got the Destroyer of Acadia perk active there as he's... That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Anyways, so that's it for Mr. Swan. He's going to be injured there for a little bit, but he'll get up. He'll be back stronger next time. But for now, let's move on. Let's go a little bit more stealthy this time. Okay, there's the ghoul. It is now nightfall, and let's get started. So we'll just tag him because we've got the ability to do that, so why not? And we've got a couple of insects that are going to be running around soon, including that one. Yes. If we get them all nice and close. I think someone's just died there. I heard some sort of insectoid scream. So, 1, 2, 3, and do we have a fourth for the big boy? Yeah, we do. And 1 critical, 193 damage. That is not how I want that to go down. In fact, that is like no damage whatsoever. Got a few crits for our troubles though, so we'll use them. That is pretty strong, I'll give it. We use our criticals as we get them, and we'll just sort of sneak away if he's getting any idea of where we are. 60% whiff, doesn't matter. Got those last couple of shots in. Can lure him a little bit closer. I've got to balance this very carefully. We don't want him to get too close to detect us, but we don't want him to get far enough where we'll start losing our damage. Is he running away from the bloatfly or vice versa? Who knows? Anyways, got a couple of shots on him. So I use the critical on the bloatfly. No, I'm going to trust this thing is... Never mind. So he's hit that for 1,000 damage. That's the kind of damage that we're going to be copping if he gets a hit in. So that's not good. And the mysterious stranger decides to come in unnecessarily. And, ooh, okay. Back into Nerd Rage again. The mysterious stranger gets completely destroyed, as expected. Don't have any criticals at all. No, I'm stuck on a fence, though. That's good. Got one critical to go. Nerd Rage not quite doing it for me. Got another critical, so feel free to reload whenever. See that bird come in there? That was interesting. Probably a synth bird. And now is the time where we dodge him. He actually teleported behind me. I managed to get out of his way. I think I just saw him. Whoa. Nah. Okay. Mysterious stranger showing up again. Got a couple of ghouls we can kill here. We might be able to salvage a critical from Grim Reaper's Sprint or something. Speak of the Reaper. And I think with that, that could be it. Alright, perfect. We did it. We did it. So that was kind of okay. Like, when I don't think it's underpowered, but as it's a pump action shotgun, so we're always gonna struggle a little bit with it. I think the biggest thing to its detriment is the fact that this thing cannot be utilized properly with its slug rounds because it doesn't tune the range in order to, you know, fix that. So the slugs are just there for really close range and you can't really make them reach out. So what I'll do is I'll finish off by killing all these gunners. Close range killing with the slugs, really good fun though. Just to say that we've given the slugs a fair go, we'll use them here before we close out the video. No criticals. Mysterious stranger shows up again with his fucked up trench coat. The gunners have pushed all the way to the heart of this place. Oh, mysterious stranger cleared out the other two. That was helpful. And all of these guys were legendary too, so they were tough. What do you reckon? And they all go back to sleep like nothing ever happened, except for June. He's taking the loss of, is that his mother? Yes, he's taking the loss of his mother. They're all taking the loss of the mother/wife pretty carefully. In fact, they've dropped her in the pile of toys.
Get out of my way.
Stupid kid. Anyways, so that there was... Oh, Bill Sutton's dead, but I think he's the goodbye letter. Well, he was planning on leaving anyway, so that's fine. So that there was a police shotgun, the police shotgun. We made 0 arrests during the video, but all of the suspects have been eliminated, so America and all of its law-abiding citizens get to live, except for June. She died a painful, horrible death at the hands of a criminal outlaw gang, but... Anyways, if you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. It does work with classic holstered weapons, so you can wear it around on your back. So you could be like a wasteland lawbringer with like a shotgun. It's a really cool weapon mod. I think in execution, there's a couple of things that could be done better, like the slug rounds. You can make them slightly more viable, and using the having the slug rounds other than the rifled ones being completely inaccurate, maybe. I don't know, that could be tuned to make them a little bit better, just to have that sort of medium range sort of ability for this particular shotgun, just to give it a little bit more versatility. Probably a little bit more than you get out of the vanilla game shotguns, but it's always good to have that. Models and textures on these things always look pretty good as well. The levelless injection is nice. So if you want to see this thing in your game, check out the link. It'll be down there. If there's an Xbox port, it'll be down there as well. Do you know Bridget's a follower mod as well? You can have her in your game. She'll look a bit different though. Thanks very much for watching, guys.